And arts and culture finally is last but certainly not least, and we're pleased to be guided right now by Greg Esser and Katrina Kaler. Greg is currently the Desert Initiative Director for ASU's Herberger Institute for Design and the Arts. He is co-editor of Arid, an online journal exploring desert art, design, and ecology. And he has directed 3 of the largest municipal public art programs in the United States for City and County of Denver, City of Phoenix, and LA County. And Katrina Kaler is owner of Urban Affair LLC, a modern media and marketing company developed to promote Phoenix's urban lifestyle. She's also publisher of Downtown Phoenix Journal, interim co-president of ArtLink, and a board member of Phoenix Community Tool Bank and Phoenix Community Alliance. Welcome, and please talk a little bit about arts and culture. And Carolyn, when they are done talking, you are first.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to change it up just a little bit too.
All right.
I'm glad to hear art's already been talked about and mentioned in these debates. I actually had opportunity to work on a number of the projects, including one at Carver, which is a bronze sculpture by Ed White in front of the Carver High School. And actually the pots on the freeway and the ghost trees were actually designed by the same artist team of Max Harris and Mao Shaver. So it's an interesting evolution that learn and grow. World-class cities are really known and remembered for their arts and culture. I want to reference the poll that Leslie mentioned earlier by the Knight Foundation. It's also been called the Soul Poll, talking again about what attaches people to communities. The points Leslie raised were social offerings, that's things like First Fridays, Third Fridays, openness, how welcoming a community is, how people can get engaged in their communities, and then the aesthetics. What does it look like? The beauty, the quality of design, open green spaces, places for people to come together. The arts can achieve each of these things and bring these into our communities. At the same time, Laddie Coor's recent study found that only 12% of Arizonans are attached to their communities. So we have a large gap to close. I want to give one quick example of the arts bringing people together, and that's the Feast on the Street that we held in April. It was a half-mile-long dining table along First Street that brought over 9,000 people together to celebrate food and art in the desert, connected to downtown ASU campus with Margaret G. Hansen Park. Today, the City of Phoenix invests less than $1 per capita in funding to support the arts on a yearly basis, in spite of a demonstrated economic impact of $361 million a year, and a much higher rate of return on that investment than almost any other public expenditure.
So we're changing it up, right? So we're posing a yes-no question first. So given this hard data, these are the facts. There's a strong ROI when there's a public investment in arts and culture. Will you support an increase in public funding for arts and culture? Yes or no?
I say yes. I say yes, we need it. It's education. You know what I'm saying? We need arts and culture. We need to get more. Only thing I'm saying, we need to extend things. And those people, those of us that are working together on steering committees and all of that, we need to really realize that the people is dependent on us to do the job and to educate them. You know, let them know, yeah, this is your culture. We want to come see your culture this month.
And we appreciate that, but
Yeah.
we really do want a yes or no here.
Yes, I've already said yes. I thought I was using my time. You said I'd be the first thing. I thought it was through.
We broke it up. We changed it up on you.
Okay.
And that's our fault, so we'll take that hit. But thank you. We'll come back
Don't
to
get it
that.
twisted. Don't get it twisted.
Don't forget what you were about to say. Yes or no? Yes?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes. All right. So here's the thing. So we've talked about a lot of things tonight. And you, from families to friends to constituents to city staff to fellow council representatives to a city manager to a mayor. How will you make this a priority? How will you make the case to all of these constituencies so you can make real change? Because you know there's a lot of differing opinions out there. You have other council districts with other priorities. You have people trying to make budget in different projects. But arts and culture, it's not only the spice of life, it's necessary for quality of life. So tell us, how will you make the case for arts and culture and this increase in funding?
And I was tired of being left out of stuff and everybody said, well, the cousin is this, we can't have this, we can't have that, we can't have the senior citizens. Man, get out of the way and let me in. You know what I'm saying? So the people gotta take back our power, sweetheart, that we gave to them. That's why the city council meetings are all empty now. People don't even go to them. Because they did me and Anthony a thrill so bad in them days when we speak up and tell them about the people and what the people need. So what we want to do is get these people back on track what they supposed to be doing for us. Ain't that right? We need y'all to take care of ourselves. We need to see our culture. I want to learn about your culture. I want you to learn about mine. That's why we need art. It's history. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I know I get a little excited, but that's it.
I'm absolutely looking forward to the day when we hit $1 per capita or higher on funding for the arts. And I hope we use that to bring the arts throughout the community. We have a great mural culture in Phoenix, and I would love to see that spread so that we can help let each neighborhood recognize its unique history, so that Green Gables can recognize its history, and that will slow down. People will get out in their community, on the streets, talking to their neighbors, and using arts and culture to create community. I'd also love us to see us take advantage of our parks and open space and have more programs like Shakespeare in the Park in South Phoenix and Meridian, to bring some of the vibrant performing arts communities from the downtown out into our community. We've had wonderful events in our South Phoenix parks and in the North Phoenix parks, northern parts of District 8, with different things like movie night in the park. We've had great events here. One of my favorite was Casablanca at 80 England, where we brought the community together for a movie. But what if we could do more to celebrate performing arts and the different groups within our community, many of whom have lost a good place to perform? Let's bring them out into the community and create the inspiration for all of the young people who will be inspired to get more involved in their community because of their passion. Let's use arts as an economic development engine. Let's also have arts involved at the table when we're working with different new companies that are coming to the community. And let's let the arts fiction and other arts experts be involved as being resources early on in the project, so that when we build infrastructure, we can create hugely beautiful places in our community. Let's leverage funds from throughout, so that it's not just the standalone arts budget, but we're thinking creatively and giving people tools to do arts and culture on their own.
Received a little bit of funding in the budget for arts and culture, but it's not enough. And we've cut funding in PAC after-school programs, disproportionately in District 8, in fact. Now, these after-school programs serve a vital purpose for our neighborhoods. These after-school programs are the place where our kids learn about art, and do art, and perform art, and learn as lifelong learners that art is important. It starts in the schools. So we need to restore the funding for the PAC programs and put it back in the schools and in after-school programs. When kids go home in South Phoenix for the summer, they experience what's called a learning deficit. That learning deficit occurs because many of our families can't take us to the Hearn Museum or can't put us to Skywide Camp in the summer. But you know what? They can send you to your local community school and do an art program where you will learn about art. But it's not that we need to bring art into the community, as I've heard. We have art in the community. We have so much cultural resonance in this community, in our Latino communities, in our African American communities, in our transplant African community on the north part of the district, in the Chinese and Asian gardens that used to exist along Baseline. This is all art, and this is all part of our community, and it's part of, frankly, these cultures that have existed and continue to exist in South Phoenix. Frank McCune can attest to this if he's still sitting back there. When he was head of Valley Leadership, I helped lead a cohort that created a mural and a community garden at the Phoenix Youth at Risk Center up in the Garfield neighborhood. That is critically important to start at the lowest level with kids to increase the arts and the understanding and awareness of it. But as my two counterparts have said, it's an economic engine. We need to look at critically how this increases tourism. We need to say that when you develop retail, when you develop an office park, it's not going to look like a cookie cutter office park. You're going to have public art, that's going to be accessible from the street, and it's going to be integrated into your plan before the zoning and the project is approved. That, along with restoring this funding, is probably the quickest way we can bring back the funding of the arts and culture.